Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblag International. Not that international today. However, welcome anyway to Garblag Games Mage 20th Anniversary Edition Ascension Heist, Episode 7. The players have been building up and building up and building up to a major heist on a dodgy corporation. And I shall let one of them tell you a little bit more about it, which will be determined by the roll of a chance triangle. It's a 2, which means it's Dave.
Yay!
Yay!
We all
Am I
win.
filling in last session? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. We did a bunch of stuff. It was cool.
What did we do?
Yeah,
The
man.
accurate description.
Wrong one.
Right. So
we discovered that there was a payment due and we're going to investigate it.
Yes. So we have so generally pieced together what's going on, which is that our fella is a bit of a monkey who has no idea what's going on, and he's largely being used as a patsy by the buyer in Turkey to acquire sites of spiritual power around London, which were in turn also part of a secret government scheme to create super soldiers. We're not sure what the connection is with the Turkish buyer and the government super soldiers scheme. I think we've not yet established what that connection is. Is that
Correct.
right? Correct. But we realised time was running short, and that the big official handover of payment for the site was coming up, which we were being hired essentially to hit. So the first question was why personal handover was happening rather than everything just being done digitally, and where and when and who. And basically, we found that Adibioglu
Yep.
is coming over or was coming over in 2 days. Had a special key on him, a special decrypting key that would enable the transaction to happen, and he would meet Damo and plug the key into the server, and that's what would make the transaction. That's the moment we've got to hit, but we have to not stop the transaction happening so much as to divert it and disrupt it and make it look like Damo is playing dodgy. So we decided what we needed was to steal the key, make a copy of the key, and put it in place of the real key that would allow us to create this distraction and this diversion, and hack the server. So we were holding both ends of a kind of hacking sausage. I don't know.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
I'm writing that down.
Nobody mentioned sausages. Brilliant.
Hacking sausage. I'm going to find these notes in a couple of years' time and go, what the hell is a hacking sausage?
Link 1 was getting... We were going to do it second, but we moved it up because we realised Adibioglu was in fact about to come in the country. So Link 1 was going to the hotel where he was going to turn up to arrange a kind of massive distraction and yoink.
No, that was Link 2.
Was that Link 2?
Yeah, Link 1 was accessing the server.
I thought we swapped them around.
No, because Claire did the server, didn't she? Tiana went in and...
Was that before?
Yeah, we made the connection.
Yes.
We did that before we stole the key?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had morning to wait until he came in.
Yeah.
Huh?
So you did the server and then you did the key.
So we did the server.
Yes.
With the most wonderful entrance, I have to say.
Yes, so we pulled off a proper kind of movie heist thing where Ray and Sweet Pea was in the van. Ray went in to shout a load of abuse at the receptionist and ask where his van was supposed to be, and did so on clip his van, just generally make a big noisy disruption of itself. While me and Tiana went in carrying a big load of boxes, dressed in suits like we belonged, and asked to be buzzed through because we couldn't reach our passes. And I made my most successful roll of the night with something like 11 successes for conveying flusteredness. That worked, and then while we were there, we had the flashback moment or flash forward moment from the beginning.
We did. We had
of the adventure.
2 of the flashback moments.
And then Tiana successfully did the thing, and then the fire alarm went off and we fled. That was great. Then yes, part two was another really classic heist movie thing, which was the kind of distraction, bait and switch, grab the thing. That's where I was barman, Tiana was a barfly, Ray was a bellhop, I think.
Yep,
or
little hat.
Little hat.
Red jacket.
Sweet,
Yep.
Sweet Pea was in the basement ready to do the false thing, and yeah, we basically made a massive confusing mess. He turned up with like loads of guards, made a massive confusing mess, and then Ray used matter magic, pull the key out of the locked handcuffed case.
Yeah, it was Ray's most successful ever magic roll.
It was.
It was beautiful.
He finally made it to the big leagues.
Teleported the key with a pre-prepared wallet that Sweet Pea had made down to Sweet Pea in the car park, where she made the fake and sent it up. And then Ray used magic again to get it back in the case. We pulled it off absolutely fucking flawlessly. No one is any the wiser. I can't remember if we did anything else. Was that it?
That was pretty much it. We left it with you getting in the van and driving off because you'd made the switch.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
We now
all
have
that was
two
left,
links to the sausage. We just need to fill the sausage.
you need to fill the sausage.
It was. Oh dear. It's gone downhill already. There was one other tiny little plot point which
Mm-hmm.
Ben just kind of dangled in front of us at one point.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
The Sphinx.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Down Street Station.
Which Damien has the deed to, and possibly if we can find that deed while we're ransacking everything else, we get it.
And it might be the most powerful node in London.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Junior needs a node. So
Unless you want to fight the shapeshifters over the tower.
nah.
Well, a node's as good as a wink.
Hey!
Eh,
Oh, I have still got here step 5 in your plan is everything falls apart.
oh yeah, obviously.
Of course.
You haven't
That's
got
all
there
right
yet.
Would
Okay,
like.
so that's where we are. We have Sweet Pea, our elite hacker. Jonathan Masterton Jr., our city boy come shaman. Tiana, who does have the last name, but I can't remember it, who is our city girl turned shaman. And Ray
No,
drives a car.
very, very fast.
He likes to hit things, and he's got a shotgun.
I'd rather shoot them, frankly.
You would now,
Yeah.
since you got stabbed by the weird sewer mutant.
Yeah, that was not good. It's a bad time. Don't want to bring it up.
So we have an open playing field. You're currently a step ahead of the game because you've got the real crypto key and have inserted the fake crypto key. So arguably you're 2 steps ahead of the game. 3 if you count the fact that you've also hacked the server that they need to use with a remote link so that you'll be able to use your accurate crypto key at range. What do you want to do next?
Pi, or I know Raspberry Pi. It's a BlackBerry Pi because we're not calling it a Raspberry Pi.
Legally distinct.
Yeah, totally different kind of fruit.
Yeah.
Like the difference between peppermints and spearmints.
Pie.
Pie.
All right, stop it. Pie has carbs. I'm not having carbs this week.
Oh dear. All right.
So back at the lockup, poring
Who-
over your ill-gotten loot.
Who wants a cup of tea then?
Coffee?
All right. Iced tea.
Iced tea, sweet tea, please.
Junior, what do you want?
Just Natty standard.
All right.
So, Sweet Pete, you have in your hands this crypto key. It looks like a chunky USB stick, like very early days USB stick back in the days when they could hold maybe as much as like a half a gig of information, and the stick was about the size of a Mars bar.
Brilliant.
That's sort of the look of the thing, although you suspect it's probably a little bit more complex than that because it does have this unbreakable cryptography program running in it.
Okay, what are we doing with it?
Not losing it.
Not losing it.
So what was your next step? The transaction's not due to happen until tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's just after lunchtime.
Lunch.
We've set up the accounts, haven't we?
The accounts
have
are
we?
set up, I believe. Yeah.
We set up the kind of chain of accounts across, well, the world, basically.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
set up a deliberately followable chain of accounts to make it look like he was hiding his money really well, or trying to look like he was hiding his money really well while not hiding his money really well.
So, where do we want this money to end up? Just asking for a friend.
Well, I wouldn't say no to a new pair of shoes, especially not after being down the sewers.
Oh, God, yeah, boots, wellies, whole new outfit.
Mhm.
I need new front seats for me car. Because I seem to have bled over both of them.
Well,
I
I mean,
believe it was suggested that the money didn't really, the destination was immaterial. They just needed it gone. Which makes me very suspicious.
I tend to find stealing for yourself a bit gauche.
You can give it to the hospital.
Yep. I'm not hankering after the money. That wasn't what I was asking. I was just kind of wondering where we want it to end up once we've made Damien look thoroughly dodgy, and then we take it away from him. Because funny.
Buy shares in Peppermint Elephant.
Not my first choice.
There was also the issue with the back of the corner shop,
Oh,
dodgy temple that you were
Mm.
looking at, and the much nastier looking one underneath the new house that's being built.
well,
I'm not going back there again.
We did disrupt that slightly.
You did.
I-
It was very disrupted.
I still have a woobly woobly thing in a safe container.
That's true.
safe
You also
container.
have a contained woobly woobly thing.
Yeah.
So you ascribe to the Matt Smith school of naming artifacts.
It's a sort of evilly weevily kind of thing. Yeah.
Full of fleshy, weshy membranes.
Oh, that makes it sounding worse.
There we go.
I
Someone
didn't
had to
say
go
it
there.
first. I didn't say it first.
A hacky wacky sausagey wadgey. Okay, now we've gone black, Anna.
I don't know. I think we're heading towards Mr. Tumble, to be honest.
Oh, poor old Justin. He doesn't deserve to be dragged into this.
Don't go for Mr. Tumble with your hacking sausage.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out. Okay, you broke me.
Right, should we spend some XP while you contemplate and realign your wishes? So if I were to give you, say, 6 XP to spend,
Ooh,
6.
6.
What does that put us on?
Yeah, what are we on now?
Oh, dear.
I haven't
depends on whether you've
spent
been
anything.
saving it or not.
All of it.
I think that might put
18.
Ray and Tiana on 20,
I believe so.
and then Jonathan and Sweet Pea on, it's only 3 less than that, so 17.
Okay.
Oh, I had 3 left from last time.
Yeah, I feel like I spent some.
You did.
I think didn't we both put some in
You
survival?
both bought survival.
Yes. Yeah. Cause
Plan.
need some of that.
I don't know. It could give me 2 sphere dots, couldn't it?
Good.
10 and 7. So life 2, time 2. Or keep 7 up for that extra dot of arity.
What can I do with 9 XP?
Buy yourself a new sphere dot at 1, or if you've got one at 1, you could buy it up to 2.
Ooh,
It was weird. I just looked through the window into the front room and Kyle McLaughlin was staring at me.
So how much is it to buy points of spheres?
A new sphere dot would cost you 8 points and it's 7
Okay.
times current level. Unless you have a speciality
current
sphere,
level.
which is only 6 times current level. So correspondence would be cheaper for you.
Was it 8 for a new dot? I thought it was 10 for a new dot. Okay, cool.
No, you're quite right. It is 10 for a new dot.
Oh,
It's 8 times current level to put up. You know me and numbers. We're not
Oh,
friends.
cheeky.
I need one more.
Just one. What would some more arete be?
Lots. They've been saving up since session 1.
Ah, well, that's a shame because I've been
the
spending
fourth,
it.
the fourth dot will cost 24 XP.
Should I just buy a different sphere?
I should have been saving, but then again, I now have slightly more survival, which is kind of
Yeah.
Surprisingly useful skill.
important.
So, in that case, new abilities. What we're looking at.
Abilities are.
Well, it's easy to ask.
Read the start and then 2 times current level.
Yeah, what he said. Damn it, just as I got to my screen.
Sorry.
Sorry.
See, I used to have all this stuff memorized. I'm clearly getting old.
I just haven't played it for a while.
I feel like Ray probably needs some intimidation because he keeps acting like it. He doesn't have any.
I have one, and I've not used it yet. I've just been nice at people instead.
I did love the whole bar fight.
You should
Terribly sorry, let's spill your
absolutely,
sherry on you.
you should absolutely take a specialization when you get to level 4,
Apologise.
Claire, of Karen.
No.
Intimidation 4, Karen. I'd like to speak to your manager.
On behalf of the group, I'd like to apologise to anyone watching who may be called Karen. I'm sure they're all lovely.
If you want to speak to the manager, it's Pete.
Yeah.
Hi, Pete.
Go on, prove me
Hey.
right, Karen. Do it.
So anyway, I'm going to have a point of intimidation just because I feel my character should have a point of intimidation.
All right, then. Don't have to spend them. Can keep saving them up.
Might as well spend them.
We've probably got another 2 or 3 sessions left tops. Probably 2, I think.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking saving up might not be worth it.
Splurge 'em.
Ron.
And you've
you
saved up
will
enough to get like
do.
2 dots of a sphere, which is quite
I
tasty.
know being able to scry to get luck. Luck feels like something quite relevant.
Yeah. Time is also quite a useful one.
Yeah, it's fine in the past.
Do I want melee?
You're planning on doing a lot of sword fighting in the near future.
Who knows? I
It
wasn't
might
expecting
happen.
to find myself down a sewer with a rat monster that was trying to eat my face. So who knows?
That's true.
Definitely wore the wrong shoes.
Yes. You never know what's going to happen, really.
Has anybody got any time?
No.
No, you got no time, no life.
So I knew about the life, and I'm looking at it, but I also don't think it really fits my character.
No.
I was wondering about life, but again,
I think time does though, right? I'm getting time 2, which I think wipes me out.
Time works.
Yeah. I've been thinking really hard about the past.
All of a sudden, you can control it.
Perfect justification.
I'm quite tempted to get another dot in entropy.
What? How much have you already got?
1.
2 is really useful. 2 is luck power.
Yeah, 2 is luck power.
And that would be 8.
7.
Yeah.
Cool. Is it 7 and 6 or 8 and 7? Oh, I don't know.
I am using 8 for other spheres, 7 for speciality.
8. Okay.
The ones I got dots in already are prime and entropy.
See, I could buy 2 dots in life or something. Or matter. Then I could grab things.
That's fun.
Matter would probably be a better one for Technomancer. Someone on Twitch is going, little picture of fire. Just saying. I think Ray's got the forces angle kind of covered.
Entropy or prime? Entropy or prime?
We haven't got any life, have we?
Entropy would probably be better for the way Tiana does things.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Plus, it links in then with sort of stock market and
Ugh.
valuation and fluctuations and things like that. So you can look at it from a finance point of view, pattern recognition.
Yeah, I'm going to go for another dot in entropy. Here we go.
So what
one
speed
left.
have you got?
I've correspondence, entropy, prime, and spirit. Mostly spirit.
And Potter?
I've got correspondence and entropy and a point in prime. I suppose matter is going to be more useful though, potentially.
Matter is very useful, especially at sort of crunch time.
Just thinking of crossovers. I mean, matter and correspondence, you've got that kind of move things around.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Quite handy.
Okay, let's go for matter.
Matter's
also a good one with prime.
Yes, prime 2, matter 2 to conjure things out of thin air.
Can't do that.
Matter 2 and entropy to get through somebody's armor, or to make your own armor much more effective.
Okay.
Because essentially, you're finding the weaknesses and flaws in their armor, or you're making sure your armor does not have any weaknesses or flaws.
Cool.
What else could you do? I don't know.
I mean, I think the teleporting stuff essentially is going to be
that's the big one for matter correspondence.
And I've been thinking about it lots since we did that little pocket thing that did.
But you've also got the reduction of molecular capacities thing. So walking through walls almost by destabilizing the wall.
Don't get distracted halfway through.
You'd need life as well to be able to do it, and leaving the wall intact behind you. But without life, you can almost do like a stone to mud thing.
Oh, what all?
Yeah.
Cool. I've gone for matter.
Cool.
So I've got 2 points left. I should write that down on my character sheet somewhere.
Right, everybody set?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, why not?
Splendid news. So, in the lockup, a little bit flush with a recent victory, probably your most successful foray in the last couple of days. This is probably the one that you're ready for. You're keyed up. You're ready to go. What do you want to do to kill the time between today and tomorrow?
Any preparations we need to make?
I want to tinker with the motor, make sure it's fully fueled. I might move, depending on what the rest of the crew wants to do, I might move my motor to an undisclosed location, somewhere with some garages and a lockup. So if the Range Rover gets tagged while we're making our getaway, we can then swap cars.
Good plan.
Now, I think we should have someone physically there if we can to watch the handover. Apart from the else, that means we can have a definite go time because they're doing the key.
We haven't got much leeway on the time, so yeah.
How do we do that?
So you want to put someone on the inside.
Yeah. Where is it happening physically? In the server room?
Happening, excuse me. It's happening in a conference room at Caton Holdings.
Are they
So
doing the crypto then, though? Or
It's a
do they have
handover.
to take
The
the key
crypto,
down then?
the crypto then has to be taken up to the server to
Mhm.
be plugged in. So they're likely to stay together then as well.
Okay, Tiana, do you want to go and join your superior in IT, or he kind of saw through you, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it's him or someone else. As a concern, but they've seen my face. To be fair, they saw my face and went, "Yeah, girl, hair, face," didn't they? Because you'd done your boobly thing.
Generic.
I don't know if you want to try and build on the earlier thing, or if you wanted to brush past it.
I think we don't want to be too memorable.
Yeah,
True.
I'd rather. I mean, I don't mind going in again, but I'd rather hit a different location, as
Yeah.
it were. Different people.
I mean, I could essentially spirit walk into the building and just be where I want to be.
And Sweet Pea has very high levels of correspondence magic and hasn't been seen by anyone.
Mm.
Do you want to go in, Sweet Pea, or you?
Can do. I think we need a wig.
We can get you a wig. That's all right.
A little bit too much glee in the, I think we need a wig. I've seen enough episodes of Alias to know how this works.
So what do we want to do about this deed? That's the only little bonus loose thread as far as I can see. Because we've got remote access to the server. So we know when the key's going into that, and then that gives us a couple of minutes because they got the wrong key to funnel away Damien's money.
Good point, Sweet Pea. Do you need to be in the van at the time the crypto key goes in to do the stealing?
Do you need me in the van instead? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it something we could do?
That's a Sweet Pea and Tiana question.
It's a good question. I mean, I guess we can both do the same thing, so it doesn't matter who does it.
I mean, if it's just a plain computers thing, that's not a problem. It's not like there's any magic tied to this.
Nope.
And do we want to try and pull the deed before or after?
I think before.
Yeah, because it's all going to get messy once.
Yeah, we'll need to be out fast once they spot us.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that's kind of the end part of our plan, isn't it? All goes to mess.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we hit the deed tonight then?
Yeah, could do.
So are we looking for a physical piece of paper, or is this another computery whatnot-y thing?
I think the idea is the physical piece of paper probably has extra significance to Order of Hermes type magic.
Oh, right. So, do we have a clue as to where that might be? We have a clue. Do we have a map?
Let me get online, see if I can find one.
Numbers hacking, fast typing.
Type faster. I'm
reading
hacking.
past your face.
I'm hacking.
Random 90s techno.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 boop.
Possibly.
Right. Schematics of the office. Bear in mind, you've already been in and out of their systems so many times. It's like driving a bus through there at the minute in terms of your access to their systems. There is a safe in Kindler's office, which would be the most likely place to keep that. There is also an archive room, which has some potential if he's the sort of person that would keep deeds in an archive room. There's the server room, but that's only for digital stuff.
don't want to have to talk my way out of the server room again.
Oh,
And
the door
one of the
likes you now.
He does.
One of
my
the
friend.
meeting rooms does have a number of high value artifacts in it,
Oh, effects.
but that's like statuary, paintings, things like that.
Oh, corporate art.
Mm,
Nasty.
stuff that no one's ever going to want in their home.
By the pound.
That's why it's so heavy.
Do we think that Damien knows what this thing is? Because obviously it's important to us wizardy people. I'm a wizard. Eh. But Damien's not. He's just some muppet.
It's probably just another site to him, isn't it?
Yeah, so
A
probably
bit quirky, perhaps. I wonder why he's not built anything on it yet.
archive, maybe, probably.
It's
not
underground.
safe.
So's half one of the houses.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You build on it, you know. It's got to be some ground for it to be under. Voice in my head.
Clay, you're the expert on things like this. What's the difference between grade 2 listing and anything higher than that? Is there a grade 1 listing?
I think so, yeah. It basically depends on how much tweaking you can do to it. If it's
grade
low
one.
grade listing, I think you can replace stuff and redo stuff as long as it's roughly in keeping. But the
That's
highest,
what I thought.
like, no, you must put it back with a paintbrush. Leave it.
And the right kind of paintbrush. Grade 2, you can change most of the stuff on the inside, but you can't change the facade itself.
I was going to
Grade
say inside
1,
and inside.
you can't change anything. And if you have to replace or repair, you have to use as much of the original as you can.
It's got to be in keeping.
Yep.
Original methods.
Yeah, grade 1 is.
That's what the National Trust is for.
I mean, it's wonderful. Speaking as an ex-archaeologist, hello.
Yeah, oh, you're the expert.
Absolutely wonderful. But it is tricky, especially if you don't have the funds to actually support that kind of thing.
That's why a bunch of Scottish castles are on the market for like a quid, isn't it?
Yeah, you either try and offload them, or the sadder one is the at-risk register. Sorry, viewers, we've gone off track. But there is the English Heritage and the others hold what they call the at-risk registers, which are known grade 1 listed buildings that are not being maintained because their owners just want them to fall down so they can build on top of them.
Oh,
And those are the saddest, really. Anyway,
Occasionally, the Landmark Trust get hold of them and turn them into wonderful holiday homes,
yes.
which are ridiculous and really fun.
So yeah, so they can have a happy time and a happy end.
And maybe one day we'll have Garkon in a castle.
Yay!
Castle of our very own.
Oh, it's our very own. Not even going to borrow one. We're actually going to have one.
Borrowing?
Not giving it back.
We'll paint it in the right colours and everything.
We're in now. Hang on.
You claim squatters' rights in a castle.
That's where we have to
Anyway.
go, right?
hey, how did the people that built those castles get them? Hey,
Yeah, fair
Huh?
point.
huh?
Save time, just build a castle. How hard can it be? People used to do it in the ancient history times,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
get a
have
load of men with swords, build a castle.
and they weren't even all that clever.
No, didn't have computers
True.
or nothing.
Yeah,
No.
one dude with a tablet should be able to build a castle in no time.
I've got
None
an
of them
app
have a
for
driving
that.
license.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't even have a car. They couldn't even pick stuff up from Argos, let alone B&Q.
No.
Sidetracking. Getting back to it.
So,
So- Down Street is a grade 1 listed building of sorts, although it's not really a building, it's more of a bunker, which is why he's not able to do anything with it. So you've got 3 possible sites for where the Down Street deed might be.
Mhm.
So that's the name for a heist all of its own, isn't it? The Down Street deed.
Indeed. It's nice and ambiguous. I like that one.
A little bit Poirot.
So what do you reckon? Where do we think it's going to be? Archive room?
I think archive room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unlikely to be the server room, and it's not a piece of paper's not going to be flashy enough to show off in a conference room.
No.
Aren't deeds normally kept in like law firms and banks and things?
Yeah, like a safe box or something.
Safe. Yeah. Wasn't one of
Legally
them-
acquired ones are usually kept with your solicitors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, given that he is a property developer, he might have his own safe. But I imagine.
Well,
he's
one,
got
there
one
was
of
there was a safe in one of the rooms.
Yeah, his office.
Could be there.
So it could be there, or can we check where his solicitor's based? Is his solicitor based in his office, or does he have a
Where his what is?
solicitor? His law firm.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, they
Must be
use
an
an
in-house
outside
lawyer.
law firm. They do have an in-house lawyer, but they mostly use an outhouse firm. Outhouse firm? It's a toilet company. Oh, what a day.
Gone down the custom toilet. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Right.
our lawyer's any good.
Can we find out if the outhouse has a safe then?
They do use another law firm, which does have a safe. They're not based on site though. They're based on Fleet Street.
So
Yeah.
is the down street deed in the safe on site, or is it in the safe at the law?
I think we're better off just sticking to the one place rather than setting up more robberies on more places.
Yeah.
Starting to confuse
because-
ourselves, really.
That's because you lack vision.
Fair enough. I like to keep it simple. No bones about that one.
Somebody with entropy, toss a coin and see if they can guess where the deed is.
I'll give it a go. Unless someone's got more than two. I'm assuming someone's got more than two. Sweetie?
I've got 3.
Oh, sweet.
Go for it.
3.
Go for it. Right.
So it's an Erate roll.
Can I instead analyze a schematic of the building on my computer and decide?
What, instead of tossing a coin?
Yeah.
I think searching for something might be a correspondence
That's
3 entry
my-
2 effect.
Yeah, there is that as well, of course. You could, you've got Prime as well, haven't you?
Yes. 1.
So what you could do is scan his office site for items of magical significance.
Cool. Let's
Like
do
the
that.
deed to a chantry, I would rule, would count as one.
Cool. Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
We need to spend some
No.
So-
Reroll. I'll buy you a reroll.
There you go. You're being
Toilet cubicle.
you're being bought a reroll.
Buy
Reroll it.
a goddamn
All
reroll.
this, it's all this outhouse talk.
Yeah. So your roll went in the toilet.
Oh.
There you
Not
go. That's a
much
bit
better.
more like it. You've got a success in there.
Oh, damn.
Can I peer over her shoulder and give her a hand and sort of point out things and such like stuff?
Do you have?
No,
entropy
you've got
as
it
well?
upside down.
I have entropy, correspondence, and prime
Then you
in
too
smaller
may-
quantities.
May make an Erate roll, and we can add the successes together, or lack thereof.
I only have so many rerolls to give.
I've still got a spare one from last week that I
Oh,
have
that's
not used yet.
true. You got one in the bank. Yeah.
Mm.
I think so does Ben, but let's not remind him.
The less said about my rerolls, the better. I'm banking up so many of the damn things because I can't use them on my own. Right, so that's a total of 2 successes between the two of you as you sort of wrangle a 3-dimensional map of the office.
Now you've got it back to front.
There are 2 items that flag up. There is one in a conference room in a flat presentation case, and there is one in his office.
Is it worth checking the law firm as well? I'm just sort of kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's here. I don't know if we want to
It's your call.
steal something out of his office and find out that it was in the law firm.
We got time to do both, or do we need to split?
I just wondering if you could do a magical search.
Can we
of this
check?
one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can we check the local records for the sale of such things? I mean, obviously, it may or may not be legally acquired, but can I have a sort of hunt around the essentially the
land
online
registry.
microfilms of
You can.
such transactions?
Yes. Your difficulty will be 9, though.
Okay. Button. There we go. Oh.
You find no evidence of it having been bought or sold. Its provenance is unknown. In fact, as far as anybody's aware, there shouldn't be a deed for Down Street Station. Its ownership is tangled up in some kind of weird limbo where it can't be bought and sold because it technically doesn't exist in terms of properties. But it also can't be damaged, torn down, or removed because it's protected as though it were a property. It's a very, very tangled skein of stuff going on, and you can't cut through it. Gordian, one could say. Sweet Pea, you wanted to check the I'm underwater. Legal firm.
Oops. We're just using computers.
No, that was an Arete one because you were scanning for
Okay.
magically significant things. The only magically significant thing you find is that the whole law firm itself has like a weave wrapped around it that if you tried to penetrate would set off alarms for someone and you don't know who.
Okay. Makes sense. But might be worth trying there then. I don't know.
Offensive burglary.
Okay.
Quick in, quick out. Hit the conference room.
Right, let's split our two computer nerds up. So, who wants to join me hitting the law firm, and who wants to join Ray breaking into the office?
I don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm just wondering if it might be safer for me not to be in the office again.
Right, Tiana, you with
they've-
me? Sweet Pea with you, Ray? You with
Yep.
Ray?
Yep.
There we go.
Winning
Never split the
team.
party.
So we'll hit both sites tonight around the same time.
Right.
Sweet Pea and Ray, you're going for the office
Officers.
for the safe that you found and the object you think is in there. I don't know if you want to try and find the other thing in the conference room. I feel like that's probably something to do with tomorrow's meeting.
Mhm.
So I guess at least having some intelligence about what it is would be useful.
Yep.
Tiana with me, we'll hit the law firm. We'll at least go to take a look. We've both got spirit magic, which would be potentially useful for dealing with warding. We may decide not to trigger it, but having a bit of on the ground information could be useful.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
Anything either team wants to do to get ready to go?
ooh, I'd like to get a bag of safe cracking tools.
Good plan.
Mostly a crowbar.
I think we might
Okay.
need more than a crowbar.
A big crowbar. And some matter magic.
Some parking permits, maybe.
Oh. We got a clamp in the back. Right, we'll just clamp it.
Savage! Actually, you can clamp your own van now.
We'll just clamp it up.
Well, that one's
It'll be
already been
fine.
done.
Yeah.
So
Right.
get my really good suit on and a law pupil's gown, which I happen to have in a closet at home.
Head-to-toe pinstripes.
Not asking.
What?
Not asking. Not judging.
It's there with the nuns out. No, they're priests outfit. A handful of other appropriate symbols.
3-piece pinstripe suit briefcase.
And
Clearly your secretary.
what should we prep in advance? Shall we suppress our visible avatars?
If we can be essentially invisible to the memory, that would be helpful.
Yes. What I was thinking was more, we can make ourselves so that if someone with power looks at us, they'll just see a mundane mortal.
Yeah, that might be useful.
Um,
Yeah, that's true,
good.
because it's going to be easier to get into a solicitor's office. Clearly, we're solicitors talking to solicitors, and it was. There's explainable reasons why we should be there.
Yeah. Is it afternoon, evening, daytime?
It's probably about 2 p.m. at the minute.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can just sort of
Yeah, we can just saunter in there, can't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a quick look through their website and see if I can
Quill
get a
and
little bit.
Steed, barristers and solicitors.
I want to get a little bit further down as well, so I can see who's doing what and which cases. So we've got some kind of veneer of what we need to talk about if we get questioned.
They mostly deal in property law, it would seem. They've got fingers in pies in a lot of very, very valuable things. A lot of their clients are very old money.
Are they involved in any disputes at the moment?
The disputes that they're involved in do tend to be sort of ancestral property versus building rights, the listings on buildings, whether it's 1s, 2s, changes and things like that can happen.
Right. If we could have the name of the barrister involved in a sort of current ongoing dispute, where the other party's barristers are somewhere within fairly easy commuting distance,
Yeah.
and might conceivably send a pupil round to pick up some paperwork.
Jocasta Hewell
So Jocasta Hewell
is currently working on a case not too dissimilar to the estate properties that Caton's been buying up. She's working on behalf of an American supermarket chain that wants to build inside the city of London.
Boo.
that's Galmart.
Yep, them's the ones. Surely they'd be French.
Spelling, innit? So if you're going to do your caper in the daytime, we could come along, because I don't fancy doing a burglary during the day.
No, fair enough. Who's the other law firm involved, like the other side of the debate of the Jocasta Hewell case?
Mingus and Hume.
Do we know the name of the barrister there?
Yeah, I'll just make up another name for you, Dave. That's fine.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew Hume.
His name is James Serin.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Marvelous. Does he have any children?
No, he doesn't. He's driven by his career. He hasn't made time for children.
What's the name of the choir he practices with?
He used to practice with the St. Paul's Choir, actually, but he's found little time recently because he's been busy working on this case.
It's tough.
Well played.
Yeah. So it's a hard world. Dog eat dog.
Right,
Doesn't even have a dog.
So, Tiana, do you want to go in as my secretary, or do you want me to go in as yours?
I'm quite happy to be secretary. It sounds like it's a fairly traditional sort of law firm, so it's probably going to be easier if it's you being the main chap.
Cool.
Yeah, Jocasta's a well-known boy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
bet her secretary's a girl.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Right,
So-
let's go.
do you want us on site or shall we just hang
Yes,
out?
That would be
you could
good.
Be on
Please.
site.
All
Actually, it's quite handy you being outside because
You can drive really quickly.
Floor it.
potentially get Sweet Pea to do some kind of portal shenanigans into
All right.
the site and use your matter power for dealing with safes.
Hmm.
All righty.
In fact, Sweet Pea, I don't know if you want to give me a thing that you can use as a focus to tunnel through, especially if you're tunneling through a ward.
Got a magic pocket. Would that help?
Doesn't have to be a magic pocket. It could just be like, I don't know.
Well, we've already got one of
What
them.
about my device?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, your special computer, your
Mhm.
beepy little Ziggy thing that might be starting to wake up.
Oh, yeah.
Have you said hello to it this morning?
Look after it. Damn it. Did
Yeah,
I give it a name?
Tamagotchi.
Have you fed it?
Gertrude. Didn't I call it Gertrude?
I think you did call it
Yes.
Gertrude.
Yeah.
Believe so.
Right, let's go.
To the van. Dun, 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 dun.
Right. So fast forwarding through the next mind-numbing drive through central
Vroom,
London to Fleet
vroom.
Street.
I'm purely making the noises with my face. Vroom, vroom,
He drops you down the street from
vroom.
Quill and Steed, and you wander up.
Yeah, so I'm dressing in the my pupil's robes, so I look like a barrister's student.
Mm-hmm.
You
Could you
look like
both
a
make
wizard,
a
Junior.
perception awareness roll?
Perception awareness. Oh, need to do the aura landing.
Um,
What's the difficulty of the roll?
6s. Right, so you got a success each. Yeah, as you sort of enter the pavement just outside Quill and Steed, you feel like a faint mystical tension, like you've just passed through something, some kind of barrier.
Okay. Can I'm really sorry. I've remembered a moment too late that I had not, in fact, yet done the spell. Can I retroactively do the spell?
Yeah, no, you can retroact it because you did say that you were doing that before you did this roll.
Slow to effectively.
There you go. Yes,
Dingity ding ding.
you are both
Oh.
appearing right, but not specifically memorable.
It's specifically about if anybody looks at our aura.
Oh, that one. Yes,
That was it was the
We Ain't Magic, honest Gov.
We look like just really, really normal human persons. I am Hugh Man Guy. This is my
Hey,
friend
Hugh.
Norm. My friend Norm Alperson.
From Arabia.
Right.
Right. In which case, if you appear to be completely normal people, you wouldn't feel that tension as you cross the barrier. You just walk into the law firm.
Cool.
It smells of old books. The walls are coated in rich mahogany.
So
There's a receptionist sat at a small desk near the door. The reception area is very, very small. It's like the waiting area is beyond it. There's also a security guard. Good afternoon. Welcome to Quill and Steed. How may I help you?
Good afternoon. We've come here to pick up some things from Miss Hewell. If that's okay.
Whereabouts are you calling from?
We'd have thought about this, wouldn't we?
Mingus
yes,
and Hume.
I'm
Angus and Hume.
There you go.
I'm Thomas Johnson. I'm Mr. Serin's new pupil at Mingus and Hume.
Ah, of course. Right. Well, if you'll go through the doors just here, up the stairs, second right, you should be able to pick up what you need from her secretary.
Thank you very much. Do we need to sign in?
Yes, please do.
Struggle.
Ah, I went to school with you.
And all.
Right, she buzzes you through the double doors, which you notice are quite secure. They look old wooden mahogany, but they are definitely reinforced. And that
Okay.
security guard is tactfully wearing a taser positioned behind him, so you couldn't see it when you walked in.
Nice.
I am turning on spirit sight.
Bing.
Activate.
This is a very, very old building, so there's lots of sort of dormant-ish spirits of, the weirdest things, furniture, well sat in chairs. There's a strong physical presence. The things that are here belong here. Some of the books on the shelf are sort of semi-sentient. They've been there for so long. They've had so many legal hands touch them and go through them and read them that they've got like an almost physical presence in the spirit world. This place doesn't look much different in spirit to how it does in the physical world. The newer fixtures and fittings aren't there, but a lot of the old fabric of the building is still there, including a version of the carpet. It's kind of the carpet of Theseus.
Spirit carpet.
Can I see the warding on the building?
It's outside now. Looking out through the window, you can see that the whole building is in a kind of spirit bubble. It looks like a hermetic spirit bubble.
Okay. Is there any sort of sense of spirits of corruption or is this very spirit of weaver?
Not a bean.
Pattern spiders?
No pattern spiders because it's old weaver. So there's a strong sense of time and age here. This is an old building with an old firm that's been here for a long time.
There's going to be nothing here that's going to want to talk
on the
to me.
spirit world. Everything appears to be dozing as well, either fully asleep or very on the edge of asleep.
Okay.
Like all the spirits here have been neglected for some time.
Can we get somewhere where there's a workstation?
So you're wandering through this law firm. It's fairly quiet.
On a piece of paper, looking distracted.
Naturally. The office just before the one you were told to go in is currently empty.
Is there a network port in here anywhere?
There's a whole computer in there.
Fantastic.
Kind of tactfully fitted into an old wooden desk.
Can we plug Sweet Pea's Wonder into the computer?
Yep.
Or Tiana, do you want to do this? Or
I shall turn it on and access it.
Okay.
Sweet Pea's Wonder? We didn't really sort of establish that.
It's like a palm-top computer.
Yeah, I might as well plug that into. Although I'd rather assess the system before I put a foreign object into it, just in case it's hostile.
Okay, so you boot up the workstation. It's password protected.
I shall try the usuals.
You make an intelligence and computers roll.
Given that people do tend to be creatures of habit. Password is not a secure password, people.
It's not password, but you managed to glean from clues around the room the sorts of things that are of value to this person, and you pick after a couple of tries on the right combination to formulate a password. They do have a fairly secure password, but not to an expert in passwords. I mean, you happily go up against this person in a cryptography contest.
Okay, now
And you load up the workstation.
I shall take a look at the shared drives and see if I can persuade it to let me access the files for Jocasta's secretary.
Okay, all of those are on shared drives. All of the active cases are on shared drives, so they can be supervised and managed by the partners if need be. So yes, you're able to look those up. It's all fairly dry, dusty legalese. Lots of scans and copies of physical paper documents, some PDFs and virtual documents, but most of their documentation is physical. The computers just have scans of it.
Do a search for mentions of the deeds to Down Street Station and any mention of Caton Holdings.
Caton Holdings is being managed by a gentleman also called Damien.
Too many Damiens.
Hey, you're lucky he's not called Damien Damienson right now. No, he's a Damien Hodgson who's been put on this case. He's probably the youngest member of the team, the one with the most to prove. And according to his case file, there's nothing there. There's no evidence of Down Street. His paperwork is all about the estates that Caton Holdings and Investment have been buying up. So the ones you already know about. There's nothing new here to you.
I would like to persuade the server to let me access his email, unless this partner already has access to his email.
Whose email?
I would like the owner of this desktop to be able to access Damien Damienson's email.
Hodgson, not Damien Damienson. Damien Hodgson's email. Right. Intelligence computers again to get into the IT system. Because you're pushing beyond what the system will naturally allow at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that you can't push. And you do push. And it gives you access to Mr. Hodgson's emails.
Search and find.
What are you
Caton
looking
Holdings.
for? Caton
Holdings, Damien.
He very, very meticulously has a whole Caton Holdings folder that he stores all of the Caton Holdings emails in. And there are reams of emails back and forth from Kindler and his head of HR, just about property not HR, head of legal, just about property purchases on the sites you already know about.
The lawyer was also in heavy contact with the head of HR.
No, well, yeah, totally different reasons. There's no evidence of any mention of Down Street whatsoever.
No, but can we find out where Kindler's deeds are, if they are on this site?
Kindler's deeds that are stored on site are in archiving in the basement.
Can I have a quick skim through the email, see if there's anything he sent his secretary to suggest how one gets things out of archiving in the basement correctly? Do you need like a pink slip or an email from the boss?
As you're about to start looking, the gentleman who owns this office comes strolling back in, looking slightly flushed from a meeting with lots of wine involved.
Oh, one of them.
I shall close down the email quite quickly.
What are you doing here? You shouldn't be in my office.
Oh, you reported there was an IT fault, sir. I fixed it for you.
Oh, splendid. Jolly good. Yes.
You should now have access to the file that you had you thought was corrupted.
Oh, jolly good. Yes. Thank you very much. Right,
more than
off you
welcome.
pop then.
Thank you, sir. I shall make myself scarce.
He settles himself in behind his desk.
Restart sequence before I leave.
That was cool, Auden, because when you walked off then, when you were walking back, you appeared like you were coming out of the van.
Oh, awesome.
Right, let's head down to the basement. That was good.
Could you both make perception awareness checks again?
Difficulty 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one there.
That's nice wallpaper.
4 there. You notice, Dave, a brass bust on a plinth in the basement that's radiating some kind of, well, it's radiating magic, hermetic magic.
Right.
Matter and prime.
Matter and prime.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What do you think? Detecting, sensing if somebody tries to take anything out.
Hmm. Is there anyone else here?
In the basement.
Hmm.
Not in this part of the basement. This is outside the archive room. There's like a small lobby here with a couple of leather couches, a door into the archive room, and then this bust in the middle of the room, almost incongruously so.
Is it awakened?
It's not doing anything at the minute.
I'm kind of tempted to say hi. What do you reckon?
Yes.
Let me think. There's got to be a way of checking something out on this bad boy. Knowing about hermetic stuff. Intelligence and academics, or intelligence and enigmas might give you some more information.
I'm literally just going to say hello, but let's have a look at that.
I'm gonna. And Nancy requires that we do the enigmas from time to time. My intelligence enigmas pool is crap, but I do have intelligence and enigmas, so I'm going to give it a go.
Intelligence and academics, that'll do.
Ray is teaching Sweet Pea cards. Right. Okay. So with your academics, Claire, you recognize that there are lots of astrological and alchemical symbols carved onto this plinth. And there are a number of grooves in the mahogany at regular intervals. Dave, you recognize that there is a hermetic puzzle built into the bow tie on the bust.
I think I can solve the puzzle.
Probably.
I'm going to
We both still have spirit sense turned on, by the way.
Yes.
So I'm going to, let me see, mind one.
There was another similar bust in reception that you didn't notice as much.
Yeah. Mind one, spirit one. I'm going to try and sort of align my thinking to the thinking of the person that created the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So spirit to sort of tap into the so the aspect or aura of the item.
Yeah.
And mind one to kind of discipline my own mind to think like the person that made this thing. That's 3 successes.
This is a very Victorian-looking puzzle, decidedly hermetic in nature. You suspect that you think you've solved it, and a little hole opens in the center of the bow tie that has a symbol inside it that is often used to represent quintessence or TAS.
I do not have any quintessence to put into the item.
Tiana, you got
That's
any
on the
prime?
circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've done nothing with my circle yet.
Have you got any prime?
1.
Do you have the avatar background?
No.
No. Then you didn't start with any quintessence. But if you've got
Okay.
prime, you can have filled up at some point. But you have to have a source of quintessence.
Okay. I have done that.
So it looks like some kind of thing that can be activated with quintessence, whatever it is.
What do you think? We'll just ignore it. If it's not currently active, then it's not a threat.
It doesn't appear to be powered up.
Right, let's find this archive then.
We can say hi to it on the way back if need be. Or just run.
Okay, so the archive room has a lady of advanced years sat behind a desk in a well-lit room, nice desk, computer next to her, but a big stack of law books that she's recovering and repairing. She's sorting out the bindings and shining up the leather covers and things like that. She's also got a couple of stacks of filing, and there's a young man wandering around the shelves with boxes, occasionally just like putting stuff on shelves, taking stuff off shelves and bringing it up. Hello, dear.
I woke
How can
up
I help?
Flustered and slightly stressed. And
Oh
go,
dear. Are you a student, love?
yes. Sorry, Hodgson sent me down to go for the Kindle account.
Oh yes. Roger, love, she calls out, and the boy comes running over. Calling him a boy is a bit unfair. He's probably 18, but he's gangly with it. He's that 18-year-old that hasn't quite grown into his age yet.
Oh, too many elbows.
At least 2 on each leg.
Hello, yes. How can I help? He says, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with an enormous spot perched on the side of his nose.
Oh.
The Kindle account.
Oh, right this way. Yes, I saw that just. And he leads you through the shelves. Just here. And he pulls out a file box. There you go. Everything's in there.
Thank you. Right.
Do you need any help?
No, absolutely fine.
Looking for anything particular?
I was looking through some of the deeds. I need to find some something for Hodgson.
Oh, okay. Deeds are in the yellow folder.
Right.
Blue is for correspondence. Red is for actionable.
Right. Thank you.
Off he goes.
I'm used to the filing, so shall I have a look?
Yeah. Or we could just take the folder.
We'll look at it back in our office. That'd be fine.
You want to take a whole folder of deeds?
I mean, it would be hilarious.
Well, in that case, since you put it like that.
We're already really kind of going to end up with more money than we intended out of this whole shebang. I don't think we should add illegal half-inching of deeds to it.
I mean, the legality is not the problem for me. It's the gaucheness. I think we've got something fun to do.
God.
Right, Claire, do you want to go through the deeds then?
I'll have a quick rummage, see what I can see if there's anything.
All right, perception
Obvious.
academics
Oh dear. They've dropped the box, aren't I?
on your toe.
Just set fire to it accidentally. You go, oh no! Ah!
I don't understand. I was reading the file and it caught fire.
I must have read it wrong.
Or maybe not.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Woo!
You shoot through all of the deeds in fairly short order. They're boring. They're wordy. They're chunky fat documents, and it wouldn't be something that you could easily slip out of here with. But there is no sign of Downstreet in there at all.
Nice.
Okay. I should try not to sneeze, put it all back, and if they are hiding anything Downstreet related, it's not above board.
Okay. Do we want to steal the deeds or?
I'm okay without them. I'll leave
Okay.
that up to
Put
you.
the box back on the shelf.
Getting heist fever. I've seen it before.
Look, there's something else we could have. Have that one.
I'd give them to orphanages and shit like that. Yeah.
Couple of traffic cones on your way out.
Well, you're a student. You're a pupil, right?
Yeah. Gotta be wearing one at least. I'm a wizard. Look, pointy hat and everything.
Right. We'll extricate ourselves. Over to Sweet Pea and Ray.
Did you have a nice time?
It was interesting. I smell of dust and books.
Place is very much under hermetic control. I think the law firm might belong to the Sphinx Society, which I don't know what's going on here, unless they inveigle themselves to getting control of Kinder's affairs, and then he foiled them by not putting the deed in their hands, and that's why they've hired us to
Mess up his stuff.
mess up his stuff.
I liked it in there. It was peaceful.
Well, let's go mess up his stuff.
Anyway, we were prepared to get you in if we needed you, but we didn't. So over to you for tonight's burglary. Is there anything we can do to support you?
I would, if we're gonna do proper burglary, sneaky style. Do we know whether there is a security patrol in Damo's offices?
It'd be a safe assumption. And actually, you've been in and out of their files enough that you would know that they do have nighttime security. It's only 3 guys and a dog. But you've got 1 guy on reception all night, and you've got 2 guys that do regular patrols, one of them with the dog.
Is there a clever techno way, looking at me techno friends here, we can track them through their like walkie-talkies or something? Just so we know when they're getting close to the places where I'm going to be in me ninja blacks. Oh, sneaky, stealthy.
Probably. It'll be a closed system, but I'm sure we could put a bug in it somewhere.
Yeah,
Do
just
you
to
reckon,
make-
Sweet Pea?
just so we can track them around the place.
Oh, by the way, here's your thingy.
You did it work?
Didn't need it in the end.
Oh.
Some guys
So-
just have task words that are too simple.
Oh dear. Also, is it possible to be obfuscated against camera surveillance? I'm quite good at people ignoring me. I'm not very good at cameras.
It's called mud.
Yeah, I could be all blacked up. That's
That'd be where
fine.
your IT people step in again.
Yeah, I was hoping.
We can loop. I'm sure.
All right. So I'm gonna learn the schematics.
All right. Sweet Pea, are you going in as well, or is he going in on his
Yeah,
own?
no, I'll go with them.
Oh,
Double
hey,
ninjas.
lovely.
Do you want me in the van?
Yeah, go on. You have the van this time.
Fully set up. It's got a good interior, that van.
Sweet.
Probably getting a little bit pungent after a few days.
We can hear it. That's why the door's open. See, you got to hear it out, innit?
So I'm going to guess the two security guards share like some kind of green room or security room where they've got a kettle and some tea bags.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, got to have your tea. Yeah, got to have a brew on.
I could summon a spirit and put them in that room to wait until the two of them in the room together and manipulate them, use its spirity mind effects, a spirit of greed or something, to manipulate them into playing cards and to getting really, really involved in their card game. So they both get to do their patrols.
Sounds good. The least we can be disturbed, the better, because we're probably going to have to hit the conference room and Damien's office.
Well,
They're not that far apart from one another, but I see your point. You want them.
If we're still in the city of London, this is probably the best place to summon a spirit of greed.
Yeah, I can't imagine you'd have that much trouble.
It'll be queuing up.
Ooh, me.
Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. I imagine.
Is it 3 to summon a spirit or 2?
I think you can call to one with 2, but 3 you can summon. Like, oi, get here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. What am I doing?
Well, Ray has got a pack of cards in the back of the van. I know you can't bind it to the pack of cards, but you could maybe invite it to hang out with them for a while.
All right.
Yeah, funnily enough, there's a fair few greed spirits hanging around Caton Holdings and Investments. Not all of them are nice. You pick one that seems the least malicious. Pure greed rather than like nasty greed.
I sort of bow to him with great respect and say, your brother Anansi greets you and thanks you for your time.
He's better not be here to nick any of my stuff.
No, I'm here to offer you an opportunity to nick people's minds.
Speak on.
Well, we're going somewhere where there are people who are bored and lazy, and we're going to put a deck of cards into their room. And we'd like you to sit on the cards and persuade them to gamble with each other and to get caught up in their gambling and to play longer than they should.
Right, as you're talking to this spirit, it's sort of manifesting more and more into what you're expecting it to look like, which is sort of a wide boy, 1980s, big shoulder padded, slicked hair, fake tanned city boy with business cards for fingers.
What you'll be stealing is their duty and their time and their concentration. You'll be stealing.
All right, what's in it for me?
What's in it for you? What would you like?
Well, if you don't pay, they don't play.
I will give $1 million to a recipient of your choice.
Million, eh?
A week from now.
All right, week from now, you give $1 million to whoever I choose.
Yeah.
Pulls one of his fingers off and hands it to you.
I love that.
You got my card. I'll do it. I'm in. And it sort of sinks into the pack of cards that are in the van.
I was using them.
Not anymore.
You don't want to use them now. Oh, you do want to use them now. That's the problem.
Wait, please, if you can teleport these cards into their security room.
ASAP.
Or we could just sack it off and sit in the van and play cards.
Yeah, go on.
Hey, can you pop to the shops and get us some sweet tea and some coffee?
All right.
What's in it for you?
Well, we need snacks for the card game, right? That's why I'm going. All right. I'll get some chips as well.
Might want to pull some cash out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to clean these wallies out, but
You need some starting capital. We've got to drop some money to make some money, haven't you?
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So Ray goes off to the cash machine.
Back in a minute.
You can feel these cards beginning to impinge on all of your minds now.
It's been years since I played whist.
Cribbage, darling. Cribbage.
So quickly, can we get a correspondence thing going on? Can we get these cards in the security guards meeting, personal green room, whatever?
Make them go away.
God, Sweet Pea, get your teleporter on.
Oh, dear.
Right, what are we doing? Teleporting something.
Teleporting this deck of cards out of the van before you sack off the entire exhibition
Okay,
and just play cards.
play. Okay.
So you play for money and get really, really angry with each other.
The whole heist just goes.
I'm never working with you like again.
Also, when we steal all this money, I'm going to need $1 million.
So
Did I not
what?
mention that?
Well, I
Right,
suppose we
Sweet
had no
Pea
plans
runs them
for it.
through her sort of micro teleportation portal window thing, which looks a bit like a 3D printer that runs in reverse.
Ooh, love it.
Nice. I don't just chuck them out the window then.
No, that's Cultist of Ecstasy teleporting. They'll end up in the right place.
And where I needed to be, man.
Oh, Cultists of Ecstasy are great. Right, so you teleport them through and they appear on the desk and you can see them through the security cameras. They're in there. Ray comes back with
Why
bags of
is my
snacks.
pack of cards on the telly?
He's got a roll of notes.
What's going on? You could chuck a whip it with this.
Right,
Not
debuggery.
that you should. Cruelty to animals is wrong, right? But you could, though. So no cards then.
No cards.
Sorry, Ray.
Oh,
They've gone to
man.
do their job.
Well,
No
I've
go
got s-
gadget heist.
I've got snacks, so there you go. Don't get cheesy Watsits on the electronics.
Please
But
tell me
that-
you didn't bring Coke into the van.
I did not bring Coke into the van.
Can you please take the Coke out of the van?
Yes, I can take the Coke out of the van.
Thank you.
Right, so Ray and Sweet Pea, get your black clothes on.
Yeah,
Balaclava's on.
nice sort of like silk wrap with one of those pull-up neck hoods.
Ray's getting a bit into this.
After yourself, it's important.
Yeah. Right, what's your infiltration plan?
Go around
Run
the
through the
back.
front door and shout, "Nobody move! This
We've
is a
got a
stick up."
pass, haven't we?
Oh,
You
we've done
have.
that
We have,
before. Oh, we'll do the boring
Maybe
way.
round the back through the store entrance, but using the paths that we've got.
Yeah, preferably.
All right, so you head
There's
round
an
the back.
IT pass, so it'll get you in anywhere, right?
Marvelous.
I assume so.
Let's try
Yeah,
it through
IT guys do tend to give themselves passes that can access anywhere, just in case.
That is true.
Because
Well-
there's computers everywhere.
Let's get close, then we can hook into the security feed just to make sure that our security guards have bitten the.
Speaking of pattern spiders, an actual spider has just decided to move into my laptop. I think I've got rid of it. I hope it wasn't Shelob. We've got a spider like that fat that living up there in the ceiling at the minute.
Or
Marvelous. I hope Junior's all right. I'm a bit worried about him.
Evil spawn of Ungoliant.
I like spiders. You got to respect any creature that can control 16 knees at once. Sometimes I have trouble with 2.
It's a strong argument for liking spiders.
Yeah, that's good. I'll just go with the eating flies bit. That's where
Also
they
a
win for me.
useful purpose.
Yeah. Right. So
Well, it's
we'll
like
get the
being in that Prodigy video.
Don't know
Showing
what's
my
going on.
age.
Oh yes. So we'll get the van close. We'll
Yeah.
check in on the cameras. We'll make
Yeah.
sure our security boys and girls have settled down for a nice game of cards.
Right.
And we'll go in through the loading dock. We'll use this special card. If we need any bonus hacking, we've got Tiana in the van.
Well, you got an IT pass, so you buzz
got
through the
IT
service
pass.
entrance.
We've got Sweet Pea and Gertrude, so we should be good there. And then we'll stealth our way to the conference room.
All right, please make a
Check that out.
dexterity and stealth roll each.
Yeah.
And Tiana, if you could make an intelligence and computers roll to sort out the cameras for them. Holy cats.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm banging my saucepans together.
Cameras aren't going to see you. Let us
you
hear you
do-
instead.
You do kick over a metal bucket with 3 mops in it.
Oh, Christ, and
The
I'm just-
mops clatter to the floor, water sloshes all over the loading bay. Then the bucket falls down the stairs.
Ray's like 20 feet in front of you. Go, oh, for
I'm
goodness sake.
just going. I'm not with you people. What is going on here?
Ray is invisible ghost-like ninja of superlative ability. Fortunately, the cameras are not on you when that happens.
Oh,
They're
dear
looping nothing.
They're looping
Lord.
nothing. So you head on up the stairs, I assume, rather than the lift.
Yeah, stairs. How many
I see.
stairs? Just checking.
Conference room first or Kindler's office first?
Conference room.
Right. So your IT pass will get you in there, no problem.
Excellent. Right, what am I seeing?
And what you're seeing in the conference room is a large oblong table. On the wall, there's a couple of bits of corporate art, and there is a glass case sat on the conference table, which is
On the
securely locked, wooden case, locked, glass cover, and inside that there are 3 bronze plates.
What do they look like? Have they got writing on them or any images?
They
or
appear to
anything?
have some kind of writing on them. You guys have seen, actually, haven't you? Because you were in the basement room
Yes,
under the house. So
yes.
yes, you have seen this writing before. It's the same as the ones in the basement room of the house.
What the are they doing here? Damo's a flat scan. He's a normal. What's he doing with these? All right.
We take
Maybe
some
he's-
pictures of them.
Yeah.
Just
Have
so we
I
can
got
know that
visuals in the
others-
van of what
Have you
they're
got-
seeing?
We did have some glasses, didn't we?
You did.
I've
So
got written down
yes,
glasses and earbuds.
glasses nearby. So yes, you've got a visual of what Sweet Pea can see.
Do you
Sometimes
recognise
it's Ray's
this,
shadowy bum. Yes, you've seen this twice. You've seen it once in the basement of the house and once in the back of the corner shop.
Hmm.
Only these look older than either of the ones that you've seen. The one in the back of the corner shop was like wooden tablets that had been carved. The one in the basement of the house were fairly new metal plates with it printed on. These look to be quite antique.
Well, it's not what we want. We probably don't want Damo having them, but I think we should leave them here for the minute.
They're probably there for a purpose. Maybe they're there to sort of encourage the
Well, it might tie
other
in
spirits.
with, yeah,
Yeah.
or Ali Glue favours them or gave them or somehow corrupting
Yeah,
Damo.
it's something to. It'll be something to do with the transaction, I reckon.
Alright,
So
let's
maybe best left there.
let's leave them for the minute. If I just have a bit of a kind of put me specs on and try and I know I can't do spirits and I don't do entropy, but I do forces. So
You
is
do.
there anything around these, anything in the case that leads me to believe that they're connected to something, that leads me to believe that there's some sort of flow to and from these plates?
nothing that you can see. Oh, mind you, you need to make a roll first to see,
Oh,
don't you?
I will have
Take
to
an
make a roll.
Arete roll and we'll see what we can see.
Oh, happy day. Come on,
Difficulty's
roll.
only 5.
Okay. In that
Ray
case-
is almost now completely invisible because he's just put on dark glasses on top of his balaclava.
Oh, I always have dark glasses on. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
there you go. Sorry. Right. Yeah, there are no forces directly linked to those. I mean, you can perceive the sort of latent flow of electricity around the wires in the wall, but there's nothing connecting to this box.
All right. So it's also
Given-
not alarmed in a normal fashion. That's
No.
interesting.
Looks more like a presentation box type of thing.
All right. Tiana, what was that? I had a little voice in my ear.
Is it possible to use correspondence and spirit to have a spirit peek through something else, or do you actually have to be
Yes.
physically in the same place?
No, correspondence is good for that. That's exactly what correspondence is for.
Awesome.
So we're
Then
talking 2 and 2.
Um,
Correspondence and spirit. Sorry, you would correspondence 2, spirit
I've-
3. You've
yeah.
got, haven't you?
I've got spirit 3.
So that's an Arete roll. At, again, difficulty 5.
Nope. I'll put that down as
Ooh.
difficulty 6.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Oh, yeah. It gave me a 1, a 3, and a 6. That's not going to get me very far.
No. So no, you can't get anything from them.
All right. Shall we leave them and move on?
I think we'll leave them, yeah.
Because we don't want anyone to know we're here.
No.
Mm.
I don't like leaving this stuff lying around, but we've got more
Sweet Pea on
important
video,
things.
you see that the dog sat in the guard room with those 2 guards is getting restless.
Okay.
It's like pawing at the door, like he wants to go out. One of the guards looks up and goes, yeah, in a minute. And he goes back to
Okay.
his game.
Let's move on.
Don't think we've got much time yet.
All right. To the office. Dun, 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 dun.
Right, so you head into Kindler's office. It's massive windows, huge comfy chair, couple of meeting chairs around the room, bookshelves, no books on them, like sporting trophies and things like that,
Where's the
and
safe?
a couple of paintings.
Ooh, paintings, you say?
Well, 2 paintings to be precise.
paintings
One
what?
of him
Killed.
done in the style of an American president, and another one which is a landscape that seems slightly out of character for him.
All right.
Hmm.
Am I perceiving any flow of electricity behind either of these paintings?
Yes, both of them.
Both of them.
Yes. Although the one behind the picture of him is a very, very tiny amount of electricity. The one behind the landscape has considerably more power going to it.
Okie dokie. I'm going to hazard a guess. It's the one with the landscape.
Can I try my spirit peek again?
Yep.
Please do.
Difficulty 6 this time. Are you looking at the safe room or are you looking at the bronze plaque things?
The safe
Okay.
room. These glasses are on the wrong way around. Oh, no, they're upside down. There we go.
You get a
Ow,
little
my eye.
little shock from the glasses and take a point of paradox.
Ooh.
How many points of paradox have you got at the minute?
None?
Well, now you've got one.
There you go. Join the club.
Can you get aggravated paradox?
Paradox burns itself out at random intervals. Basically, if I want your paradox to burn off, I'll roll a dice, and if I get under your level of paradox, it'll do something to you.
Ooh.
So at the minute, I'm not going to bother.
All right.
Paradox likes to wait.
Being a magic boy, I'm gonna kind of put my hands up close to the paintings, but not touching them, and just try and focus on the solidity of things, on the density of the building around me, and see if I can basically find a safe.
Okay.
Kind of humming a little tune to myself when I'm doing it.
I'm going to look at him really weirdly and start scanning the room with my device.
And the fact that you already know that that's where the safe is because you've looked at the schematics. But, you know, you let him do his thing. Yeah, the safe is behind the landscape.
It's definitely underneath the desk.
I'm just going to look at him side-eye then and just scan the landscape painting to see what we're looking at.
Right, what are you looking for?
Whether there's any kind of alarms or...
Well, the safe is built
like
into
that.
the wall. 3D perception-wise, the safe is built into the wall behind the landscape. The landscape is hinged so that it can be opened. There are 2 switches on the landscape painting. Can't really make out what either of them do. One is near the hinge, one is far away from the hinge.
Has he got a tripwire, Sweet Pea?
It's got these switches. Addings.
Well, I could pull the power away. What are you seeing? So there's one there and there's one there, right? So what do I reckon that is? Voice in my head.
Ooh, we're looking for... I'm thinking wits and technology here.
Some tech. Oh, goody.
Either of you can make it.
Ooh, oh.
I might let the person with the tech take it then.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, one is obviously the catch release for the lock that holds the landscape flush up against the safe. The other one appears to be an alarm that is triggered if you don't press that whilst releasing the catch.
Yeah.
So they expect you to find one switch, but not
the
both.
other. Oh,
Awesome.
Crafty. I like that. All right.
I'm going to grab a couple of flat metal bars out of my rucksack and say, ready for our synchronized break-in?
You could just like hold up your hands and go like that.
Oh,
a little bit further apart. I mean, yeah. If you want to build yourself a nice little frame,
and then we have to do our 3, 2, 1, and
we've got synchronized.
I'm just saying, you've both got
painting
2
might
be
really heavy.
We've got to lift ourselves off the floor.
Yeah, get my harness out.
From the ceiling and
not make any noises.
And also cover yourself in like foam that spreads out your body.
Let's get the talcum powder out. Scan it for lasers.
I think Ben's failing to deliver what we really
Just 2 simple switches. What's that about?
We haven't even got to the safe yet.
All right.
Getting the picture out of the way.
All right. I
right.
will get the picture out of the way. Thank you, Sweet Pea.
Thanks,
The painting is at least painted on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
What is on the back of the frame? Yeah, good point. Thank you, Jonah.
Some wood.
Some wood.
Yeah.
What kind of wood?
Yeah, the frame appears to be made of wood
Oh, all right.
and hinged to the wall so that you can open it and leave the painting open
What's
whilst
the
you
name of
access
choir
the
Wood
safe.
practices with?
Who what?
What's the name of the choir the Wood practices with?
It's not in the choir, it plays woodwind.
Hey! Saw that one going. Right.
Should have.
Yeah.
Right. Confronting you is a
Oh, yeah.
Steinhauser 920.
Oh, my favourite. Brilliant.
Steinhauser 920, state of the art digital safe.
It'll be for digital. Oh,
Multiply redundant systems.
Sweet Pea. It's a
Right.
boring
Well,
safe.
it's redundant. That's good.
It's got a
Just hit
retinal
it, yeah.
scan. It's got a thumbprint scan. It's got alphanumeric keypad.
So I could melt my way through the door, but that might be a
Where's
little
the fun in that?
gratuitous. Well, I think that would be quite fun, personally, but it might be a little bit gratuitous. So maybe, Sweet Pea, you would like to use your
Yeah.
wibbly doobly.
I'm gonna use my wibbly doo darn thing and try and look for some kind of pattern for the 2 scanners. What am I doing?
3. He's making fingers at me.
Right, what are you doing? Oh, I see. You're entropizing. Right,
I'm
retinal
trying to look for
scanner.
a pattern.
Retinal
Avoid
scanner.
Like,
fingers.
oh, there's the little widget. Oh, there's the little widget. Like lining it up like you would a.
Okay,
Lock.
right. It's not lock lining. Oh, I see what you mean. The inside of the.
Yeah, but the
Right.
scanner, like okay, that's what the fingerprint. Okay, there, kind of.
So it looks like the 3 of them work in tandem to unlock the entire safe. The safe itself has 3 bolts down the long edge,
Mhm.
and then, 3 bolts along the long edge, and then 1 bolt on the short edge, and then the hinge. The hinge is inset so that you can't get to it from outside.
Clever.
It's 6 inches thick, reinforced titanium steel alloy.
Hmm. So it's fingerprint.
Fingerprint, retina, and alphanumeric keypad.
I guess we could hack the. Can we hack it all?
You could try. You'd be running 3 simultaneous hacks.
Tiana, do you think you might be able to help with one of these?
Like a whole string of sausages.
I could probably do one
queue
of
up
them
remotely. We
I
don't
might
have
be-
any of his fingerprints, do we?
Or do you?
We're in his office.
I'm wondering if
There's-
we do.
there's
We've
there'll
got
be
things from
some-
his office.
He's got to have
You're
figured
surrounded
something
by them.
in
Mhm.
his office.
That's true.
Right, make a perception and investigation roll.
Is it site-based?
It is.
3D.
Perception and what now?
Investigation. but I ain't got none of that.
Investigation.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, I'm not very good at that.
Right, you're looking at like glasses and cups and things, but those have all been taken away and cleaned. So he's not got a glass with like really obvious thumbprints on. Ray, on the other hand,
This is what Ray is for.
Yep. Ray, on the other hand, finds a perfect set of fingerprints on the arm of his chair, where he's obviously sat there and been drumming away, and like gripped it a couple of times.
Nice.
Do you know how to collect them? Ray probably
Powder,
does.
sellotape.
Yeah, a little bit sellotape, a bit super glue.
So I'll take a little bit of super glue. Right, so you've got a thumbprint. Someone's going to hack the retinal scan.
Oh, can I just go get his eyeball?
You could. That might give things away.
It could be totally unrelated.
You'll be there the next day. It's really weird. I was asleep and someone kept me gouged my eye out.
Oh, well, who knew? It's just so strange.
I didn't even know sporks were designed for that.
Yeah.
I may have once convinced an entire class that the reason a spork is shaped the way that it is because it was designed as a torture implement by the Nazis in World War II. And Americans didn't understand its use as a torture implement when they broke in and found them and thought that it was cutlery. And that's why sporks are used as cutlery and no longer for removing eyes. What, really? Yeah.
That and the Geneva Convention. Yes.
Yeah.
I played a steampunk game once with a chap who had a fake eyeball. He used to carry like a little brass spork just so he could pop it out and readjust it and put it back.
Nice. Right. So, Claire D, are you
So
taking the
wrong.
optical hack or the alphanumeric hack?
Whichever one they would like me to take, to be honest. Ray, were you all set to do the alphanumeric one?
I've got.
Or would you rather I did that?
I've got my sellotape.
I've got me sellotape. I'm good, thanks.
I'll do the alphanumeric one then, unless Sweet Pea wants to do it.
No, I'm happy with either.
Okay, so Sweet Pea, do you want to do an intelligence and computers roll to hack the optical lock? Excuse me. This is a tricky one. We're looking for difficulty 9s.
Roll good.
Stand by for rerolls.
Dun, 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 dun. You can use a point of willpower to guarantee a success.
Yeah, let's do that.
Good job you did. So yes, you get a success. Scamming the optical scanner.
Oh,
It's touch and go, and it bleeps at you red a couple of times before finally relenting and clunking open.
Hey!
And the door unlocks and opens about half an inch.
Half an inch. All right, let's not get hasty. Let's check. Peering around the door for little tripwires and little catches and little nasty surprises.
Mm-hmm. Make an a perception, sight-based, and investigate.
No,
Yeah,
I have
investigate.
to keep being investigate. 'Cause I don't have any. Da, 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 da. Ding.
Right, you don't see any.
I think it's the perfect moment just to share this. My daughter got me, which is
Oh, why is the DM
yeah, I'm
smiling?
smiling. Yeah,
Because you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup.
now deeply regrets getting me. But hey ho. Sweet Pea,
Mhm.
do you want to just go watch the door?
Sure.
Oh, bless him.
And then I'm
Take the hit himself.
and then I'm gonna open the safe.
The gun inside
The face of a gun.
Oh,
sits on a shelf, pointing away from you. There's a couple of bits of paper, a stack of cash, and a small velvet envelope inside.
Small velvet envelope, you say?
Also 2 passports.
I love
Neither
their
of which are
late
English.
90s prog rock album.
Small velvet passport.
Small velvet envelope. Wasn't that the name of the album?
It was self-titled.
everything okay, Ray?
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So I just thought I heard something. Right, we have a small velvet album, a couple of passports. What kind of gun is it?
9mm Glock.
All right.
Generic cop show gun.
Yeah, it's a swagger gun. Yeah. All right. I will. Well, we're going to take out the velvet envelope because that just looks fascinating.
Yeah, it's got something small and hard in it. Several
nice.
small hard somethings.
All right. Pocket that for later examination. Is there anything that looks like a deed?
There's a stack of papers in there.
Well, Sweet Pea, do you want to have a look through these? Maybe Tiana can join you through your magic.
Ah, yes,
glassy
Sweet
vision.
Pea, the property expert, to work.
While you do that,
I can sort of metaphorically peer over shoulder if needed.
Yes. Use the same eyes.
Most of the bits of paper that are in there are contracts. Some of them are with people. There is one with a security firm called Black Razor,
Ooh, they sound fun.
Mm.
which is a close protection job
Ooh,
for Damien
bodyguards.
Kindler that nobody knows about. Confidential close protection operation. You've got
They're super soldier venom types.
yeah.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? If Tiana can be seeing through Sweet Pea's glasses, can we be capturing all this, even if we're not taking it away? Like screenshot.
And yes, you do find
Of the
in
Google
a
Glass.
nondescript plain A4 brown envelope that's been opened and closed several times, a title deed to ownership of Down Street Station.
There we go.
Mm.
Bizarrely, on behalf of the Crown,
Mm.
superseding Transport for London.
All right. Well, we got what we came for. I'm going to check the gun for bullets.
There are bullets inside the gun. Whole
I-
clip.
Ooh, goody. While there's no one looking, I am going to use my wonderful matter magics, and I'm going to turn all of the gunpowder into custard.
That would be great when he points it at you.
Yeah.
Haha, the joke's on you because I've got a gun.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ooh, ambrosia.
Damo's got a gun.
Please do
Ooh,
not shoot us with your custard gun.
a meal with no strawberries. Ooh, it's a shame, isn't it?
Okay, so yes, you changed the gunpowder into custard powder.
Excellent. Thank you.
Can you make an Arete roll? Difficulty 8. No, difficulty 7.
Bring on the paradox. Ooh.
So you do something, but you're not sure what it is. You were aiming for custard powder. We'll see.
This will be interesting when we get shot.
So you've got your deed.
I've got a deed. I've got a bag of funny rocks. Taking that as well. Close the safe up. Does it relock?
Yep. As soon as you push it close, it locks itself again.
Clicky, clicky. Close the paint in.
So you've taken one deed, the envelope, and you've messed with the gun.
Yep.
Did you put everything else back?
Yes.
Okay.
As we found it.
Jolly good.
Very undisturbed, apart from the bits we disturbed. Close the paint in. Back out of the room. Make sure it is as it was.
Okay, make both of you another perception and alertness check. This one is hearing, not sight-based.
Oh, damn it. Perception and a what?
Alertness.
Oh, okie dokie. Do. 3? Probably.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Oh, rolled bad. 1,
1, 2.
2.
So the 1 cancels the 10, the 6 and the 8 both still count. So you both hear it clicking coming towards you as you're going back into the loading bay, and you hear a growl, which means that you can roll initiative.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay.
Roll 1d10 and add it to the total of your dex plus your wits.
Oh. Woo! Dex plus wits. So that's
8.
9. Sorry. I'm being beset. 9 plus 8, whatever that is. 17.
17.
And I'm 8.
And you're 8. Okie dokie. Right, Ray.
Hello.
Out of the darkness, that guard dog jumps
Oh,
for
no.
your arm.
Oh. This was not part of the plan.
It wasn't part of the plan, but it is a complication that does crop up from time to time. Do you want to try and dodge, or do you want to try and catch it?
Catch it.
Break his
What?
neck.
No, that's not. I don't like animals. He likes animals. He doesn't want to be nasty to them.
Oh.
Right, Dex and dodge if you want to
Dodge.
get out of the way. Dex and brawl if you want to try and grab it.
Well.
Alive.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and grab it, but just so I can subdue it. I don't want
All
to
right.
hurt it. No. Dex and brawl. Difficulty.
6 is.
Is...
Right.
5, 4. Can't tell.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Which just beats the dog. So you kind of grab it and go down in a heap with this dog. It's huffing doggy breath in your face.
Hello.
But you have grabbed the dog.
I do not have any hacky wacky sausagey wassages.
Claire, what do you want to do?
What can I do?
Leg it.
Leg it. I don't want to leg it and leave you there.
Oh, right. Don't worry about me. I'll just go play with the dog.
Can I teleport something somewhere? I don't know.
Not living things, unfortunately.
No. That's why I should have taken
Other
the
than
life.
yourself.
Do I wanna
You
go
could
with
try and calm the dog down.
that? Got any doggy games on my Gertrude? Make it watch YouTubes of other dogs doing cool, calm things.
I love it.
Yeah?
I don't know that that's going to work because it's not really calm enough to sit down and watch some YouTubes of dogs. doing cool
Uh,
things.
What about those annoying noises that only affect certain frequencies?
Oh, now that's good thinking.
Offer
Yeah.
to send this photo to the We Rate Dogs Twitter account. 13 out of 10 would pet.
That is one of the finest Twitters in existence. I like the ones where they say, "We only rate dogs. Please take this double scoop of Oreo ice cream off our page. Thank you."
Yeah, I'm going to look up frequencies to calm dogs.
Okay, so wits and technology, calm or scare off?
I guess if we scare it off, it's just going to run off too. Let's scare it off.
All right.
Uh,
Wits
Yeah.
and technology, and I don't think you're going to struggle that much with that role looking at your character sheet.
4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Oh, what is going on with my rolls today?
You play a high-pitched noise and the dog sort of backs away going, not happy
Okay.
with you, but it does sort of back up, still growling, and it doesn't want to get any closer to you than it
Okay.
currently is.
Quick, right?
we
Well,
leg
we
it then. Running
got what-
away.
We got what we need.
We have got what we need. We need
Okay.
to leave.
Let's get out of here.
Start the van. Start the van.
You head out and leap into the van.
Running.
Yeah. All right, let me drive.
Right, into the van you go.
Oh, I should start it really.
Are you making noises with your face again?
Yeah. Used to driving in London. You know, you got to make your own speed noises.
So you hop back in the car and you drive back to the hideout.
Well, maybe a
I'll
little
play other
bit.
drivers. Oh, you get out of it. Yeah, very immersive London experience.
We might be a little circuitous just in case, you know, we are being followed.
And then make a Dex and drive roll
Oh,
to shake any trails.
me with my newly developed getaway driver skill. Look at that.
Ooh, that'd be exciting then.
Fluff this. I really will be sad.
Really hard to fluff it once you've got specializations.
That'll do.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 successes, potentially 6.
Yeah.
You drive as only an expert London getaway driver can drive. If anybody can follow you, they deserve to catch you because you would doff your hat to them.
I would be impressed and I would like to work with those people.
So you make it back to the hideout.
Right, team. Cup of tea, I think.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah. Spirit folk. I found this
Hello.
velvet pouch with knobbly things in it. Maybe somebody wants to look at that.
I'll take a peek at it.
Okay, you recognize it more from your position in society than your position as a magic user. It's the kind of velvet envelope that high-end jewelers would use.
Oh, shiny, shiny rocks.
Wonder who he was going to ask the question to, or if he was.
Or it's just
Well, if he
backup
was going to
money.
ask the question, he might have had to attach them to rings first.
Mm.
Oh,
There's
take-
about £500,000 in cut diamonds in the envelope.
Oh, I feel like
Nice.
a proper East End villain there. I've done
You have to
some
hide them at the
bloke
bottom of a cup of
over
tea.
for diamonds. Oh, my dreams are complete. Oh, my dad would be so proud.
Son, you're a man now.
Yeah.
Are they clean or have they got critters on?
They are completely clean.
Mm.
These
Probably not
diamonds
blood
are
diamonds. then.
just diamondy diamonds. These are
Money
money
stones.
laundering in ice form.
They're so shiny. Can I touch one?
So, yes, please.
You got them all in your hand. You can touch as many of them as you want.
How many are there? Just out of interest.
There's about 15.
15. Could there be, say, 16, and then we can just split them equally?
There can be 15, and you could just like sell them and split them evenly. Or unless
Can
you
I
wanted
keep
everybody
one?
to like insert 4 into their foreheads.
Yeah, it's how we bond as a heist team.
Yeah, you'd be able to headbutt people with impunity. It'd be brilliant.
Can I headbutt for aggravated damage if I embed diamonds in my forehead?
I mean, it makes
That's
sense.
the questions.
Let's be proper players about this.
I'm going to put them in me knuckles.
Sellotape them to the edge of my twin katanas that I hide in my trench coat. I really need to run a katanas and trench coats game again. They're fun. As long as you go into it meaning that. Anyway,
All right, we got
so
some
you have
slush
that
money.
and you have the deed.
And we have the deed. I don't know what to do with this. It looks important. Junior, do you know what to do with it? You know clever stuff.
How's it look in the Umbra?
I guess
It's got a spirit reflection.
Anything else attached to it? No slugs?
Nope. You can
check.
detect every type of magic on it that you've got.
Yeah, I just wondered if about finding an aspect with like mind one, spirit one.
How
If
do you
it
mean?
had, like a magical aspect, aligning it to like a particular type of power or sphere or concept.
Okay. It is linked to all spheres.
Okay.
It has very faint radiance of all spheres. It looks like a combination of title deed and almost like a contract. On the back of it, you can't see it with normal sight, but there are over 300 signatures dating from very, very, very old-fashioned looking sort of Victorian signatures. It wouldn't be that many. No. Probably about 100 signatures. Sorry, I'm forgetting the age of Down Street. There are about 100 signatures on the back of it, ranging from Victorian era signatures right the way through to more modern day looking ones. Not dated, but there are a bunch of signatures on there for a range of names.
Have we been specifically asked to get this?
No, we were sneakily led to it by Sphinx Boy.
Then what I suggest we do is put this somewhere safe,
Yeah.
finish the job, and then claim Down Street for ourselves.
Sounds like a plan.
Worth a go?
Because I don't know if I trust these guys.
I don't.
No. Now, when you say somewhere safe, does that mean not the lockup that the Hermetics have provided us with?
Probably not there, no.
Well, I might know somewhere.
Where Ray folds it up and puts it in his pants.
No. if this thing is magical, I try not to do that.
There's a Ghostbusters moment for you, Ray. You not put the incredible, powerful magic contract down your pants.
I'm going to bet that if we sign our names on this and then go to where Down Street Station is,
Yep.
we'll be able to walk into
Be
Down
interesting.
Street Station.
Yeah, well, it's a good getaway plan. You want to look at it that way, because no one else can get in.
I mean, we could just go there right now if you want. I don't know.
It's tempting, isn't it?
Do we finish the job first?
Just for jollies. I always like to do a recce, of me getaway ways, me routes and destinations before I have to depend upon them. What time is it? Is it late? Is it early?
It's getting a bit late now, and I'm actually thinking of stopping the session here as well, because
Yeah.
we've gotten to the point where you've kind of completed a chunk of objectives. It feels like a good end point for now.
Yep.
So we shall pick this up in 2 weeks' time, when we should
Awesome.
be able to just get in and do the final deed, which may take 1, maybe 2 sessions. We shall see. Or there might be enough for like 1 and an epilogue with Down Street and shenanigans. So thank you very much for playing along today. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone on Twitch. I haven't been popping back and forth all that often.
It's not that chatty.
It's not super chatty. I'm just looking at it now. Oh, there's a book.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, thank you very much for coming along. Everybody's a little bit... There's a lot going on today, isn't there? There's the world's a funny old messed up place.
Well, we've done a couple of break-ins. We've kept a heist vibe. So
Yes, done a nice burglary. Did a safe cracking. That was
Yeah.
good. Enjoyed that. Yeah.
all right. And what was that place called? Black Razor.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, then,
See you all
I-
in 2 weeks.
Ciao.
see you in a couple of weeks.
Night night.
Good night,
See you
one and
soon.
all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.